Hey there, Wargamers, Justin here on Painter. Today we're going to talk about Nova 2023 Grinder. I'd like to welcome you guys back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in today. If you are new here, please alpha strike that like and subscribe button. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for having my back. I appreciate you having my six. Thank you for being an awesome lance mate, star mate, whatever the case may be for you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you helping to support what I do. That said, today I want to talk about running the Grinder events at Nova 2023. First and foremost, the majority of the units that I printed out were recommended by Elliot Want from Patreon. Only one person took me up on filling out a list of recommended units, and the majority of those I used. The ones I didn't use happened to be mechs that weren't listed because I added on stuff to the list afterwards, so it didn't have recommendations. So thank you, Elliot, for your support and your help. It was actually very helpful, and I'll show you the cards in a little bit for what I ran. Grinder events at Nova. Starting on Thursday night, from approximately 6 or 7 until probably about 10:30, 11. I had 2 to 3 tables with 6 to 8 people on them and was running between them or getting help from Bob. At one point, Aaron Cahall from Catalyst came by. He happened to throw me some support on Saturday because I was drained and I hadn't eaten in 8 hours, and he knew I needed a break, and he helped me out by running one of the tables, which was super nice. Justin West helped out a little bit. Joe from Death Resigns helped out a little bit. But yeah, we had those tables going on. 6 objectives, number 1 through 6. Players were assigned a random light at the start, and then they were assigned a card from a standard 52 card deck. Actually, we had jokers as well. And then we would shuffle that, flip it over, and then if they were not on the table already, if their card came up, they'd roll a d6. That's where the unit was placed. Then they did their movement from there, and then we went through the turns as normal. As they died, or their mechs went down, they would go up to another weight class, and their skills generally got worse. As they got to heavy, a few things would happen. Either A, they got to heavy and no legendary mechs were available, so they'd start back at light, go back through again, or they'd get to heavy, or not heavy, sorry, assaults. They'd get through assaults and there'd be a legendary pilot available, and then there was a chance they would get one of those. So what I did was I would assign the random mechs as we went through, and as a mech was pulled from the bag, if it was the legendary mech, but not the card, if it was destroyed, then I'd set it to the side and put it on top of the legendary card, which meant it was available at this point because it has been blown up once for a potential random assignment. So these worked pretty well. I got slammed almost every night I was there. I had a few really good experiences with, I mean, they were all good experiences, but a few really like noteworthy ones where I was putting bounties on people and having a good time trolling, because I would go through and be like, hey, who's the most annoying mech at the table? Who hasn't died in a long time? Whoever kills them gets this DRD set of tanks or something like that. That was a lot of fun. But I had a family come in on, I think it was either Friday or Saturday night. And I came over and I said, hey, which one of you guys is the dad? And this guy goes, me. And I was like, hey, kids, I'm going to put this bounty on your dad. Whoever beats up on their dad gets a free toy or free prize, which was really, really funny. But after they were done, I came over and I said, hey guys, I just want to say, I appreciate you being here, whatever. I want to get you guys into the game, and if you can promise me you will do this as a family, have a good time, and try and approach the hobby, I want to give you something. I believe I gave them some terrain, but I gave them a copy of a Game of Armored Combat that Nova provided as additional prize support. They told me to do something with it, and I thought getting someone new into the game who's never played is a good idea. This group of people, I think one of them may have known about Battletech, but they didn't know Alpha Strike, and they were learning. This was brand new. And I gave that to them, which was really cool. There was a story with another guy and his friend who came and they played, and I did the same thing. I gave them a copy of Terrain, I gave them the Game of Armored Combat, and I said, hey, I want to do this for you, but you got to promise me you're going to pay it forward. You're going to take it out to your community, you're going to help grow the game, you're going to actually play with it, and try and help grow Battletech and enjoy this experience. And they said, yeah. I was like, okay, I'm going to give you this box. I said, karma's a thing. If you lied to me, it's going to come back. And I was just joking a little bit, but I'm a firm believer in karma. And then a day or two later, after we get home, I get a message on Instagram. The guy's found me, and he said, hey, I'm such and such. You taught me and my buddy how to play. I just want you to know we came back. We started playing Battletech. We're having a good time. We've enjoyed this so much with what you taught us and whatnot that we late backed to the Kickstarter, and we bought a bunch of stuff. And I was like, hell yeah, that's awesome. So that was a good experience. I had another guy, I believe his name was Dan. I think he's in the Discord. I think it's Undead Dan, who said that he had heard how I interacted with people at my tournament and said that he regretted not signing up. If I recall, the positive vibe and the atmosphere was what he wanted, and I believe he's going to play next year, but he did then participate in in the grinders, which was cool. He also played Steel Rift, which was really cool too. So overall, I had a very positive experience. I think next year, one of the things I'm going to have to do is cap it at 12 people and tell people when someone gets up from a seat and they leave, you can rotate in. I didn't have the staff to man multiple tables, and 2 tables I can kind of run, or as people get used to the cards, one player can kind of head the table and flip the cards themselves and just tell me when they need to rotate out. That is a thing. But on Saturday, before my tournament was even over, I had like people just pouring in. I was like, hey guys, you got to wait. We're running over time on my tournament. I got to finish this. I got to do the awards, and then we'll set up for the grinder. And as soon as, boom, boom, like clockwork, as soon as the last person got given their prizes from my tournament, it was like 18 to 20 people had flooded into that room, and I got overwhelmed. It was crazy. We had more people show up for the grinder than had signed up, which I was happy to facilitate Alpha Strike grinder stuff because I wanted them to be able to learn the game and play. And we had a lot of foot traffic with people that wanted to learn the game. So I did that, sacrificed a little bit of my time because I was in that room for 40 hours across 3 days, which was brutal. It was 40 plus hours, and it was nuts. Will I do it again next year? That's the plan. Plan to do open play, learn to play, Alpha Strike grinders, and the tournament, and hopefully a paint class. Maybe more than one paint class, maybe, if I don't run grinders every night. We'll see. Trying to do my best I can to help promote, obviously, DRD and what I do, myself and my channel, but also help promote Battletech. It's important to me, and I'm trying to do the best I can to shine a light on Battletech and get people into this hobby, this universe that I enjoy. So that said, I do want to transition over here and give you guys a final look at everything that was in the Alpha Strike grinder box. You guys have seen these before, but I do want to go through everything that's here, including the cards, and show you what we got. And yeah, so if you've seen this may be a repeat, but if not, then you might be in for a treat, so you could see a bunch of minis. So we've got a deck of cards here, and these are the cards that we used for the grinder. And we've got the legendaries back here, which there's some typos in one of them in particular. This is not... Jonas had the wrong file attached for the rear, and we found that out after. It's got this guy's backer on it instead of his, so that was funny. But we'll go through these briefly and just show you the cards, which you may have seen before. These were the legendary pilot cards that got used. And any one of the grinder artists that were there were given the opportunity once per grinder night. I let them pick their mech and drop it anywhere on any table they wanted to. They can go troll, and a couple of the artists were there and played. So Sean wasn't, Jonas was, he got to play as himself. Bob was there, I believe he got to play as himself. Lex was there, but he didn't play as himself. Dan was there because he's the Capital Palette guy. Didn't play. Justin played as himself a couple times. Kerry wasn't there. John wasn't there. He wasn't there. Neil was not there. Matt Carper was there. I believe he played as himself. Kelly wasn't there. And Matthew LeBaron was there. And I believe he played as himself at some point, I believe. So that was pretty cool. And then the one that I had not shown yet was Craig Vandal Lighton. He was there. He played as himself, but we traded cards. He had photoshopped and fixed a little error on the card that I had made and had already had it printed, but I gave him the printed one, and he gave me the one that he had printed at home and cut out. I thought it was cool because he played and he had painted, so I gave him his copy of the official card, unofficial card, that I had printed to take with him, and I took the one printed at home, so that was kind of cool for me. For the rest of the cards, we're not going to go name anything off. I'll just kind of start going through. We got a bunch here, but every card you guys see come up, it corresponds with an actual mech that we have, and the majority of these Elliot from Patreon had recommended. So we had a lot of units, and it was pretty cool. Actually being able to, oh, there's Joe. Joe was there too, sorry. Joe also played, he's from DRD. He played as himself. These were probably grabbed towards the end on Saturday night when I was cleaning up and trying to go to bed. But yeah, this was a lot of fun, being able to pick the units that were recommended and print the cards, cut them out, try and figure out what pilot skills we balanced. And there's imbalance. None of this is actually particularly well balanced, but it's not supposed to be. It's a grinder. And I feel like my whole stack here is going to be the wrong way. There we go. I was looking for the break. So that was pretty cool. Some were better than others, but it's fate, and what you get delt's what you get dealt, and that's what you kind of have to do. So there were a couple of people who were like, well, this mech's not as good as the previous one. Well, yeah, that's kind of the way it works. Sometimes you get a good one, sometimes you don't. But I did try to make it pretty balanced. So there were some assaults that didn't, their gunnery skill was not as bad as it should or would have been based on tonnage, but its damage output was just really, really low. So to keep it balanced, I gave them a little bit better of a skill. Whereas like the Warhawk here has 765 for damage at skill 5. We had some that were damage 4 or 3s or something that had like a skill 4 just to keep them balanced. Just because they were pumping out too much damage or weren't pumping out enough damage to justify the cost, I feel, or the skill. And I wanted to make sure that people got to play, and there's a little bit of random factor to it. So, pretty interesting. All in all, don't think I'd really change too much. If anything, I will probably try and grow the Nova grinder box and put out a call next year for artist for 2024's grinder box and see if we can't expand. I'll be using these to run demos, future grinders, and so forth, but everything in here was, for the most part, donated. I did buy 2 boxes of models for Adam to paint for me. He works at Death Row Design, so I couldn't give him store credit as a thank you for painting. And then one for Neil, again, also works at Death Row Design, so could not paint or give him Death Row Design's credit for painting either. So I did buy the minis that they painted, but they did paint them for free. Every other mini that was in the box, community members donated of their own choice, own accord, their pick, and they also painted them up as well. And then I gave them some store credit as a thank you, which was my way of trying to be nice. And they were being nice to me. So that was what I wanted to do. And yeah, we'll see. The criteria was basically like paint 1 light, 1 medium, 1 heavy, and 1 assault. And that was the goal. And we have, again, a very large selection of minis here. I think next year I'm going to put out a call for people who are financially in a better position to spend money than maybe others and see if we can't drum up a couple of Ares class mechs to be painted for the grinder box, because I think those being like an ultra big one that spawns that everyone kind of has to try and beat up on could be a lot of fun. We'll see. That's like a $65 or $70 model, and wanting to get one of each class. You got the Poseidon, the Zeus, the Ares, and the I forget what the other one is. I think there's 4 of them. It's like that's a lot of money to ask. So we'll see if anyone actually wants to do that. If not, it is what it is. So getting into the grinder bag here, we'll show off some minis. All right. So in no particular order, we're just grabbing stuff. We got a Goshawk here. We got a Supernova. We've got a Shadowhawk. We got a Highlander. And I remember some of these. I think this was Gibflower maybe that painted this. This was Carrie Joe. This was Adam. This was Lex. This was Atlas. This was from Mr. Suge. Eric Suge from the DRD Discord. He painted up this Marauder. We got a Marauder 2. Either 2 or 2C. This was also Lex, and he did a little, he actually did the antenna on it. He did the antenna on the Atlas as well. I believe this was, I think Justin West did this. This is the Stinger, I think. We've got the Dragon from Bob. And we've got a Masakari. We're gonna have a large group of minis here by the time we're done. I'm gonna regret pulling them all out, but I think it's gonna be cool to have them all on the table. We got our Mad Kitty. We've got our Warhammer. Craig Lighton's Stormcrow. We got another, I think this was also Suge. We got his Highlander. We got Neil's Thor. This is also one of the grinder artists, and I can't remember, but this is a Wolverine. And as I do this, I get to put them back in the bag organized, right? So we got the Banshee from John's Swords of Midas. We've got Daedrit's Grimace. Pew, pew, pew. Also Free Worlds League. We got a bunch of Free Worlds League. Battlemaster for Carrie Joe. I believe this was Matt Carper, Highlander from ELH. We got Kelly Caudle, another Catapult. Let's get that out of the way. This is a very large selectional mix. All right, so we have got a Sea Fox Puma, I believe. We got a Sentinel. It's also painted by Adam. I'll start kind of putting these with groups as I see them. Crusader, I believe, from Lex. And 21st Centauri Rangers or something, I think. I'm probably screwing that up. Got another Warhammer. Can never have too many Warhammers. We got a Blackhawk Nova. Boop. Ooh, Grasshopper, I think. Pew, pew. Joe. We got Banshee, part of Mr. Vandal's group here. Got us a Free Worlds League Shadowhawk. Got us this is a Gargoyle Man of War, I think. Ooh, I always screw that one up. I get it confused with an Executioner every time. Is this it's not an Assassin. I forget the name of this mech. It messes me up. It's a Comstar, I believe. Exterminator, I think? Correct me if I'm wrong, YouTube. I believe this is the Axeman. I get that one and the Hatchet Man mixed up. They're very similar. Crusader from Bob, which he asked me to base, and I did not get time, but it's painted up to look like my custom mercs. We got us a Loki. Boop. You notice the string of jade turkeys here is getting big. We got us a King Crab from Adam. We got us a Direwolf from Neil. I believe these are Ghost Bear. We got a Ryokan, Ghost Bear. We got ourselves a Ice Ferret. Ice Ferret. I'm working on it. This is good news for me too. We got a Mongrel for Beta Galaxy. We got another Ice Ferret. We got a Masakari, also painted by Adam. These mercs. We got us an awesome. We got a Free Worlds League Archer. Another big group. Got another Archer, part of Vandal's crew. We got us an Atlas, part of Bob's Caretans. We're almost through, guys. Only a few more to go. Whoops. All right, we got us another Timberwolf. I believe this was Jonas. This was his. And this is part of the Beta Galaxy. Boop, boop. Got a Beta Galaxy Puma. Hacha. I'll move the camera in a minute, or at least move the minis. We got us a Mercury. We got us a Beta Galaxy Mistlynx, I think. We got a Jade Falcon. I believe this is a Vixen. I know I'm just sitting here naming off mechs, but you know, maybe it's a nice background noise. Got us another Koshi, I believe. Our Mistlynx. That is a Ghost Bear. We got the Wolfhound 2C, I believe. Got another Beta Galaxy Timby. Got us a Fire Moth. Okay. We got a Locust here. Can't go wrong with Locust. Probably one of my favorite lights. Make some space here. Got another Locust. Also part of the mercs from Kelly. We got Cougar. We got an Uller. Okay. We got us a Beta Galaxy. Is this a Gladiator? I always get this and the Man of War mixed up. I don't know why. Correct me, YouTube. We got Dave Alstiger's. I forget the unit's name, but we got his Hunchback. We got Matt Carper's ELH Wolverine. Surprised I'm getting as many of these as I'm getting. We got a Atlas from Kelly Coddle's Killers, I've been calling them. We got a Dragonfly Viper. Boom. Another Beta Galaxy Puma. We got us a Black Knight. We have a Sea Fox. Oh, is this the Man of War? It's another one. Pretty sure it's the Man of War. We got a, this was painted by Dan Athanasol from the Community. I believe this is the Stinger. I always get that and the Valkyrie mixed up. I believe this is the Valkyrie. I get the Stinger and the Wasp mixed up. All right, so Valkyrie, I believe this is the Wasp, and I believe this is the Stinger. They're all so similar to me, I mixed them up. We have a Zeus, painted by Dan, and the blending on the canopy there is just chef's kiss. Super good, super good. I like it. Good color choice. We have, I think this is a Thug. Boom. We got a Pack Hunter. Boom, boom. This is a bunch of mechs. I can't believe I'm digging all these out. What is this guy called? Is this a Kingfisher? No, it's not a Kingfisher. I don't remember this one's name. I know it's Sea Fox. Oof, somebody in YouTube land help me out without me digging the cards out. I forget that one's name. We got a Commando. Huntsman, I think. I think this is the Huntsman. We got a 3D printed, is it Owens, I think? For Free Worlds League. Another Commando. And we got one bag left. One bag left. All right, we got an Overcat. We got a Shadowhawk. Really nice Beta Galaxy Shadowhawk. We got a Blackjack. We got a Steiner Archer. Sterling Steiner Archer. We got a Jenner from Mr. Matt Carpenter from ELH. We got a Mad Dog, one of my thieves. We got a Free Worlds League Marauder. Marauder. We got a Thunderbolt. Shadowhawk. I feel like this is getting very repetitive. I probably lost all of you guys at this point. Koshi. Yeah, I really enjoy the minis. It's also kind of helping. Battle Cobra. It's helping me to kind of identify some of these. Some of these I forget. I think this is an Exterminator. I think I got that one right again, even though I got two in here. We got a Nova for Beta Galaxy. Again, we got multiple Novas, I think. We got two Novas. No, we got multiple Pumas for Beta Galaxy. We got a Shadowhawk for Ghost Bears. We got, is this a Gladiator again? So I think this is the, is this Executioner Gladiator, Gladiator Executioner? I don't know. I get these mixed up. I don't know. I don't know. I mix that up all the time. It's help me out, YouTube land. We got a Ryokan Beta Galaxy. I believe this is a Trebuchet from Mr. Dan Athanisol. We got an Orion, painted up by Lex. Cyclops, painted up by Mr. Bob. We got a Sea Fox, Mad Cat, I believe this was Matt LeBaron. Got an Orion from Bob. And we got I believe this is the Hatchet Man, the Axeman, Hatchet Man. I think this is the Hatchet Man. I mixed up him and the Axeman, but I think this is the Hatchet Man. Also by Dan. We got a Grasshopper for ELH. We have got a Trebuchet. Boop. We got a Phoenix Hawk. I don't think too many people pulled that one very often in the dealio. And then we have got I believe this is a Victor, I think. It's from Dan, or not Dan, my goodness. I said it earlier, it's Gold Bishop. Why am I drawing a blank on your name? This is a Raven. It starts with a D. Why am I missing your name up? He also painted an Archer, and it's not coming to me. It's not coming to me. Dave Alcigar, got it. And that was technically last of the official mechs. We also have a Wolfhound painted by Bob, but I did not have an Alpha Strike card for it, so it gets to stay in the bag. So that said, let me reorganize these a little bit, and we'll pan across them so you guys can kind of see what we've got going here. Because it's a lot of models. It is an absolute ton of minis. The community was just super generous, very nice. There's also a few infantry that were donated and a few tanks. We didn't get around to having a full Alpha Strike grinder box full of vehicles and combined arms, so I did not pull those out. I also actually had to pull some out to save room in the grinder box because I ran out of room for mechs. So that is what we had to do. Trying to get these kind of in order by their faction a little bit. All right, And let's see here. Doot, 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 doot. All right, cool. I know I'm just kind of rambling. You guys are maybe seeing me move some stuff around, but it will make sense at some point, I promise. Okay, and let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, cool. That works out perfect. Pew, pew. Pew, pew. Okay, and we'll just go ahead and do the clan guys. And the Sea Fox clan guys, which worked out pretty good. All right, almost to the end. Almost to the end, my friends. We're doing the do. All right, boom, boom, boom. We're trying to be. Let's see here. Do I got any more 5 groups? I don't think so. So I think we are on to. Oh, yeah, we do. Boop, boop. Sorry. Just knocking stuff all over the place. There we go. All right, so I think we're kind of running out of any semblance of order here for placing stuff as kind of teams. So we're just gonna start placing stuff on the table here. Okay. And then we'll pan the camera around. ELH. And then we've got our Beta Galaxy. It's gonna be in the front. And probably should have panned the camera ahead of time, but there we go. All right, so as I move the camera and disorient you guys, this in all of its glory is our Nova grinder box for 2021. So there's the front. That is an absolute mega load of mechs that the community was super generous and donated. And yeah, they had a huge impact on me being able to run the grinder. Couldn't have done it without the community, and that is the sea of stuff. You've seen some of it in content already for the Aces, and I will would like to try and continue to use this for Aces content, other content on the channel, and as well as running demos locally to help promote Battletech and the game. But yeah, this was the total box, and I wanted to show you guys, even though it was mostly a little bit of a ramble, but if you made it this far, thank you for hanging out with me. I do appreciate it. And if you enjoyed that, please smash that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. If you want to help support what I do, check out Fortress Miniatures and Games. If you want to pick up some paints, check out Pro Acrylic from Monument Hobbies and Deathra Designs, where I work at my day job that helps support what I do. If you want to be a super supporter, make sure you check out Patreon. If you enjoyed this as well and you're interested in painting something up to help me run the grinder box next year for Nova 2024, you might want to see me create you as one of the legendary pilots that you will get to potentially play with. If you are at Nova or see me play with here on camera, make sure you keep an eye on the channel. I'm probably going to put a call out for artists next year to do that as well. Artists who have already done it will be welcome to do it again if they like. But yeah, this is the community's way, I guess, of giving back to me to help me give back to the community. I think that is pretty cool. And yeah, I think it's a blast, and I really appreciate you guys doing what you did. And I had fun running the grinders at Nova, so hopefully we'll be able to do that again next year. That said, though, folks, that's it for me today. As always, if I don't sign off, you know I'll find something to ramble about, so I'm going to go ahead and kick the tires and light the fires and get out of here, out of the shop, and go home. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. As always, keep rolling your dice, keep painting your models, and I will catch you guys next time.